Christmas, Santa, magic. It's such a wonderful time of year. That is, until it isn't. Let's face it, moms, being the keeper of childhood Christmas magic is a lot. It's a lot of sleepless nights. It's a lot of tantrums from the kids and from us. And it's a lot of obligations that we don't necessarily know how to say no to.
I just like to smile. Smiling's my favorite.
Make work your favorite. That's your favorite, okay?
Okay.
Work is your new favorite.
Fine.
Time for an answer. Okay, people, tomorrow morning, it is Santa's only thing.
Oh my God!
So the thought of doing the whole charade over again this year can send a lot of us hiding under our blankets. I'm here to say fuck it to that. I love Christmas and have found ways to continue loving it as a single mom of 4. In this holiday series, I'll be joined by guests and experts who will share how they find balance through the holidays so they don't turn into the Grinch on the street. It can be the most wonderful time of the year for moms too. The secret? Learning when to say fuck it. Welcome everyone to this episode of Merry Fuck It Christmas. I am your host, Amanda Haro, and I have another awesome guest, and I'm going to let her introduce herself.
Hello, everyone. My name is also Amanda Jacob.
Because I attract Amandas.
Yes. I think that's just like our generation of Amandas. Like that was just a thing. It's like
It was.
or something like
Ashley, yes. There were also so many Laurens. I knew many Laurens.
I would say that is one that I didn't know as many. Like I know Laurens, but it wasn't like they weren't clumped like Amandas.
There were 3 in my class of 80 kids at my private school. So that was a lot.
Yeah, that skewed the name game there.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. But I'm so happy to have you here with us. And I totally interrupted your introduction. Continue to introduce yourself on who you are aside from being another Amanda.
Yeah. So I am a mom. I have a 13-year-old daughter. I am a registered nurse. I am a wife of, we're going on 16 years. And I am a financial coach. So that's my focus.
Nice. So what has been your relationship with the holiday season? Do you like Christmas? Do you kind of hate it? Do you think it's a commercialized, piece of garbage?
Oh, that makes me sad that that's probably an answer for some people.
I know. Those people make me really sad. I'm like, that's just not a way to live.
Yeah. So my past with especially Christmas is we did it a lot. So it's not that like it was huge in our home or anything, but this time of year we got together with our my extended family a lot. And so that is what my brain goes to initially when I think of Christmas or Thanksgiving or October, Halloween, because I would see my cousins, I would see all my aunts and uncles, and it was wonderful. Christmas specifically, we would, it depends on if my parents wanted to wake up early, and we would do Christmas at our house. And then we would go over to my family's house, which we called the Salem house. We all lived in Salem, but it's just the name it got. And we would sit, 10 to 15 families in the living room, kids in the middle with all kinds of gifts. And we would open gifts. We would have, breakfast with everybody and chat. And then we would go on our merry way for the rest of Christmas Day. But that was one of my core memories. Even my daughter this year, she's 13, was like, I remember going to the Salem house and having Christmas there. And we did do it up until COVID, getting that many people in a room together.
Right.
was frowned upon then. And the family that hosted it, their kids had grown. They hadn't had their own kids. So the dynamic shifted. And so my core memories of going out and getting Christmas trees with these people and going to, spending Christmas with them, delivering gifts before and all of that, it shifted after COVID. And it hasn't been the same. But it's weird that I see a shift in like what I'm doing. So we have, my parents, my in-laws, and then our Christmas. And I'm like, we got to be busy on Christmas. And I'm like, it's probably because I'm missing that other one.
Yeah. You're missing how it used to be.
Yeah. And so instead of like bringing everybody together, it's like, no, we have 3 Christmases. We do, usually it's Christmas Eve or Christmas with one of our parents. And then we spend the other one with the other. But then we'll do like our Christmas, and I'm sure this year we'll continue those traditions. And so I love Christmas because it brings me together, and I think of it in regards to family and like bringing family together, and just being able to spend time, catch up with them. That's like, those are the things that really bring me joy. It's not like, if we talk about the things that we don't like,
yes,
I'm over presents. Like, I'm so over getting things that I don't want or need.
Yeah.
And so like when I give, I either want it to be something that is like they'll use, or like something so ridiculous, like it's just a gag gift. Like,
yes.
Yes. Like last year, and I should do it this year, but last year I wanted to get a sweater with like a cartoon me on it for somebody. We do like a perfect gift. And I just didn't do it in time. So,
that's so good.
Oh yeah. And like last year my husband got a plot of land in Scotland for somebody, like in our white elephant gift. Like, those are fun.
Right.
Like, I ended up getting a cat card that like meowed and didn't stop as soon as you opened it, which was fabulous. And so like it really, for me, it's just about coming together. Cause I'm over gifts. I've probably been over gifts for a while, but I'm 35. Like, I don't need you to buy me things. I don't even ask my husband for gifts. Like, he will come around and do something that's like very thoughtful, or he'll try. And I'm like, you don't have to try. Like, it's okay to just not get me a gift.
Yeah. And that's just so interesting, because that goes back to like everyone's individual love languages. I don't know if you're familiar with the love language like methodology, but it really is true. Like, gifts just don't always resonate with everybody. And that's okay. But that's like, Christmas is particularly hard for people who gift giving just really isn't like it doesn't resonate at all, because then you have like this external pressure of like, well, I have to, and then you're panicking and you have no idea what to get everyone, and it feels horrible.
Oh yeah. Well, so my love language is like, the biggest one is like acts of service. And so thoughtful things could be like so much more than like a physical item.
Yeah.
But I love the love language aspect of it, but it's also like, what were you brought up to? Like, what were your traditions that were ingrained in you? Like, what was expected? So even if your love language isn't gift giving, like, were you expected to give gifts or get gifts? Was there anxiety around it? And like, so is that what you've, perpetuated over the years, instead of like honoring what you want to do? And
yes,
I mean, the first effort is like, at some point I was just like, I'm not doing this for you anymore. Like, I do things for me. So
yeah.
Okay. Like, I'm not a big gift giver anyways. And it's like, I'd rather just spend time with you. And I think there's a hard balance for people to understand, like, oh, this is just how Amanda like is.
Yes.
And it's not that she's being rude. It's not that she's like forgetting about you. It's like, no, that's just who she is. And it's
not that she's a cheap asshole. She just prefers to just spend time with you instead.
The money gal. I'm always going to be the frugal bitch. Like,
yeah. But like, during seasons of my life where money was tighter, I would bake for people instead. I put a ton of work into it. So, if you buy like an assortment cookie tray at the store, you don't really think about how much work goes into creating 5 different types of cookies for 10 different people. Like, it was a ton of work.
Yeah.
And, but those types of gifts, usually like meant more to people than when I just bought them something from the store. But I mean, purchased gifts can be very meaningful too. It's just a matter of finding something that it would actually mean something to the person, or it's sentimental, or they want that, that thing. But like for my kids, for their birthdays, I started doing mommy daughter dates instead of giving them a gift, because I was a stay-at-home mom for 9 years, and then I went into the work. I was forced to go into the workforce in April 2020, which was a terrible time to try to get a job after being out of the market for almost 10 years. Just in case you're wondering, it was horrible, horrible timing. It took me like 2 months to find a job, but then I did, and so my kids were used to having me around all the time, and then I was gone all the time when they were home all the time. And so they just missed me so much. And so after that, I was thinking, and I was like, I think what my kids want is just time with me. I think they would appreciate that so much more. And especially since I have 4 fucking kids, like getting one-on-one time with me is really rare. They love the mommy daughter dates so much. And like their birthdays are all October 8th through December 1st. I'm a horrible planner. Let's not talk about that. That's another podcast.
Oh my.
Like right during the holiday season.
Yeah,
and all these
did.
fucking birthdays. So there has not been a year yet where everyone's gotten their mommy daughter date within a reasonable period of time. Like the November and December babies are usually like waiting until like spring. But they wait. They hold out and they wait. They never ask me like, okay, well, can you just buy me this thing instead? Because they want that time with me.
That's sweet.
Yeah.
How old?
So we are in the middle of birthday season. So we're almost 14, 12, 10, and almost 8.
Okay. So all of the ages. So when my daughter turned 11, I asked her, I think it was 11 or 12. And I was like, what do you want to do for your birthday? And like, I started letting her like plan it because, she started taking initiatives with her play dates and everything. And yes, we still call them play dates even at 13. She still lets me do that. And
my kids would murder me.
And so I was like, okay, well, you figure it out. And she ended up not like choosing anything. And then, so our gift to her was a yes day. And it literally took her like a year and a half to ask for her yes day. Like,
really?
It was so, and that's how it's been. It's been so weird. And so like this year, I'm like, her birthday's in February. And so I'm like, okay, like maybe I'll push a little bit harder. Or like we're doing it's Halloween, like a week and a half away from Halloween. And I do a Halloween party. And, this year I was like, well, do you want to invite your friends? And then like this weekend I was like, hey, like, are any of your friends coming? She goes, I don't know. They're not really saying. I'm like, do you want me to get a hold of their parents? She's like, I don't have their numbers. I'm like, this week, get their numbers and I will ask. Like, so we're still not at that age where she's like capable of planning for herself. And so,
right. Still needs a little bit of assistance.
It's so weird. The shift of like, when you give them what they need on a like everyday basis and they know that you're going to follow through, like she doesn't have like this instant desire to like need something. And I'm seeing that like she's so content in like things that when I was her age, I was like, I need that right now. Like I need that to like prove to me that like, you were
that prissy bitch from Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Don't care how, I want it now.
Maybe like a little toned down, but like the level of contentment in my kid and just like her fuck it mentality is like, I'm like, I don't get it. And there's like, it ebbs and flows, but she's a lot different than I was. And so that's a whole thing to navigate.
But it's so nice to see like kids really, I mean, they appreciate like toys and, now that mine are getting older, skincare and bullshit, like they like that stuff. But
oh my gosh, is that what I have to look forward to?
Oh my God. Well, our kids my oldest is the same age as yours. And actually my oldest is the least into skincare shit. Like, it's my two middles, my Libras. I don't know why. They're just obsessed with skincare.
Mine recently, like last week, said, I think it would be fun to like try makeup. And I'm not a makeup person.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, oh goodness, like here's something else I'm going to have to learn to help you like figure. And I was just like, you can do this. Like, but that's like, it's interesting to me because things like that, like even something that's like extra for me,
Mhm.
like makeup is extra. I don't have a lot of it. And I still wouldn't get it as like a gift. I'm like, oh, that's just like a normal thing. So then I'm like, okay, well, what do I like? What do you want as like a gift? Like, we don't want to like wrap something, put it under the tree, and you have to wait a month to open up makeup that you could have been using for a month.
Oh,
And
no, but
so,
they do. They're really excited by the makeup.
oh yeah,
They make
like
great,
I'm sure
great
that's a great
stocking
gift, but in
stuffers.
my head, I'm like, that doesn't make sense. That's like a daily use thing.
That's so
Why
funny.
would you wait? I'm really bad. Like, and that's like me and my husband every year around, well, probably in the next couple of weeks, we'll look at each other and be like, what do you want for Christmas? And I'll go, I don't want anything because I get whatever I want.
See, okay, like I hate when people ask me because
Yeah.
I'm the type of shopper where like I just go and sometimes I have a very clear idea of what I want to buy someone. Oftentimes though, I'm just like I just go to stores and I just look around and I'm like, "Oh, this looks like my sister. This looks like my mom. Here's my like that's just how I shop." So
Yeah.
I fucking hate, I can't stand when people ask me what I want for Christmas or what like my kids want for Christmas because I'm just like, you're putting your shopping duties on me. I am not your shopper. Go shopping. Give them cash, but
Yeah.
you figure it out. I have decision fatigue. I'm a single mom of 4. Do you have any idea how many decisions I make a day? Fuck off.
Yeah. And I'm like the opposite. I'm like, I want a like verbatim list that you're like, it as the gifts are got. I don't want duplicates, so I don't have to go back and deal with that. So like I'll get a list from my daughter and like books. That's one thing that she gets all the time. Whatever gift giving season it is. And she'll put like her, you know, the series that she's missing certain books for. And so I'll tell one person this book and maybe I'll give a couple of suggestions to this grandparent because they
Yeah, see that part
but
that you're
it's
talking
like,
about right now, it's fucking obnoxious. I don't want to have to keep a tally in my head of who I told. Like, no, you figure it out.
yeah.
Call your granddaughter on the phone. Call your nieces. Like, you talk to them. You figure out what they want.
Well, now that she has a phone, now that she like my parents live a mile away, so like my dad he called me I can't remember what it was for, but he called me and he was like, what would Eloise want for blah? And I'm like, I don't know. You have her number, right? Like, ask her. Like, I'm no longer the middleman. Like,
right.
I don't. And so, like, I'll have her text her grandparents, like, hey, if you want something from them, you need to ask. Like,
yep.
Hands off now. Like,
yeah, I want no part of this conversation anymore. Stop making it my responsibility. No, I don't want that. That's a hard fuck it for me for the holiday season and birthday season in general. I'm just like, stop it.
With 4 kids, I have a little experience with more because we took care of our nieces, but at the same time, I was like, I don't want a bunch of shit toys that are going to break immediately.
Yeah.
And they won't play with, or like, I want them to get something that like is going to actually expand their mind and not just rot it. And so I was still like, these are the things that they enjoy. Like, these are the books that they're reading or, you know, that. And so I was still probably a little anal compared to what you like.
I just have so much on my plate on a daily basis. I need people to take things off of my plate, not put more shit on it.
I am learning to release control, which is a new concept because I'm realizing that I try to take all the control. And so
first step is admitting we have a problem.
Yeah. I'm Amanda and I'm a control freak. I'm We won't go down
Oh,
that
God.
rabbit hole. That's a whole other podcast.
That is a whole other podcast. But it is a podcast worth doing, especially for moms, because you can reduce so much stress, daily stress in your life when you learn how to release. We
Oh,
don't
yeah.
realize how many things we're trying to control and how exhausting it is for us until we start letting go. We're like, oh God, what the fuck was I doing?
Yeah. Yeah. Still a foreign concept to me. I don't know what you're talking about.
It's okay. You're still on step 1. You'll get to step 2.
At least I can admit it.
Yes, exactly. Oh my goodness. So finances are a huge, like, that's a huge piece of the holiday season, especially with, all of this gift giving stuff. And there's all the decorations, there's all of the parties, there's so many extra things that we feel obligated to do. And that we also, some of us like want to do some of these things. But finances are a huge part of it. And a lot of people, they struggle through the holidays, either getting themselves into debt. And just to be clear, I don't personally think that debt is like inherently a problem. My personal philosophy on debt is like, it's pretty awesome that you can buy money. That's pretty awesome. I know that it can become a problem just like anything else. Like there's a balance, just like you can drink alcohol without being an alcoholic. Like it doesn't necessarily have to indicate a problem. But
Absolutely.
let's start talking about like that aspect of it and what parents especially can do around this season to kind of alleviate some of that stress.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think that you hit the nail on the head. Like gift giving for most people, unless you are conscious of like how much you're spending, or you're like, I don't have the money to spend, so I need to be creative, which creative can cost a lot too. So beware.
Yes, Michael's is expensive. Like I've been down that road of like, well, I'll just craft a bunch of stuff. And it's like, oh, this is actually still over my budget.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think we put that aside because we have expectations, like what we were talking about earlier, of what Christmas is, what we want it to look like for our kids, how we want it to feel. And we want to create these like magical moments where, we get all of the things to create this Christmas season for us or for our kids or whoever we're doing it for. And so expectations is probably the biggest thing that you can talk about reining in.
Yes.
And in reality, if you bring it back down, the simplest thing that I talk about with my clients is like values. Like, what are your actual values and where can you put that energy and or money towards those things to actually make you feel like you're getting, your money's worth out of what you want.
Yes, exactly. Like figuring out, okay, is this thing that I'm putting on myself, this burden and responsibility and expectation and obligation, is this like actually something that I want to do? Yeah. Or is this something that is coming like externally that society or my family or whoever is like making me feel like I have to do, but actually I don't?
Yeah. I mean, so frequently I talk to people and they're like, well, I need to get gifts for my kids. I need, they're asking for these new things. They've wanted these things for so long and we've put it off. But you don't have a way to pay for it. And this is how I grew up, is my parents would always put Christmas on a credit card and deal with it throughout the year. And it's like, you were literally stressing about it all year so that your kids could have a thing. And more like, think about toddlers. Like, what is the thing that they want? It's usually simpler than what we are giving them. It's not the, toy that shakes and, makes noise and lights up and all of that. No, it's the box it came in.
Yes,
So
exactly.
So it's like, okay, so we have these expectations that we need to meet.
Mm-hmm.
And we will put ourselves through all kinds of stress and overwhelm and, turmoil of dealing with the finances later, guilt, shame, all of it, just so that we can get that moment. But in reality, if you actually ask your kid, just like what you were saying with the mommy daughter dates, is like, what do they actually want? Like,
Yeah.
what is something that you can give them that's not this, like, that's not going to, create this financial hangover for the entire year.
Right.
And,
Yes.
and so when I'm working with clients, especially when it comes to like like when people start with me and it's like right before the holiday season, there's two ways that we say, fuck it. It's either like, do what you've been doing and just enjoy it, and we'll catch you up for next year.
Right.
Or they're like, fuck it. Like, we figured out what my values, my goals are, and why I'm doing this. And we're going to pare down Christmas. It's not that nobody gets rid of the holidays. Like, you don't just stop. You're not like, no tree, no presents. Like,
right. It doesn't have to be an all or nothing thing,
No. And it's like, okay, well, fuck it. Like, we've done this for, umpteen years, and it's caused us strife. So let's try something different. And so one of my recent graduates, I guess I would say, is like, I think it was back in August that she texted me, and she was talking about like her money wins, but she goes, and I'm prepared for Christmas. And like, we don't have these huge expectations, but like, she was actually planning ahead. And that's the ultimate goal, is to get you planning ahead. But when we're this close, like, you got to take two routes. Like, fuck it, I've done enough, or let's wing it. And, we'll start planning December 26th for next year. Like,
right. Exactly.
And like you said, there's a balance. Like, I'm not opposed to debt. I got rid of all my consumer debt because I didn't like that. But then I took on like 3 mortgages. Like, who does that? I'm happy to use other people's money, especially when the interest rate is right. Like,
yes.
It does make sense. And so I am wholeheartedly a proponent of balance, and also doing what's right for you. Because what I do, or what makes sense to me, probably doesn't make sense to you. Just like our holiday, expectations and how we want to go about it are completely opposite. But guess what? We, coexist, and we can both love Christmas in our own ways, and that's it.
Yeah, exactly. And, boundaries are super important around just everything, but especially with this, because like, if, going back to just my own life and my own examples, like during seasons where it was just like, okay, I'm only buying gifts for my kids. That's it. Everyone else is getting like cookies or a card or like whatever I have the capacity for, but it's not like an expense. I'm not spending $50 on everybody. Like, that's just not happening. It just letting that be okay. And, making that choice for myself, liking my reasons, and letting my family know, like, look, this is what I'm doing this year. And you don't have to give your life story to everybody.
Yeah.
You could just say, this year, we're only doing gifts for the kids.
Yeah.
And period. That's it.
Yeah. And I love that. So when we started our financial journey, I would say 5 years ago, we probably, I think 1 or 2 years of Christmas, we did the same thing, go and get gifts and give and whatever, however that looked like for us. And my parents would still give us gifts, like us adult kids, and like feel the obligation. And so after a couple of years, I told my husband, I was like, I don't want to do that anymore. And we were talking with our friends who come to Christmas with us, and he was like, let's just do white elephant. Like, you buy one gift, but it's not necessarily white elephant. We do like, it matches you with somebody. So you get one person you're buying a gift for.
Oh, like a Secret Santa type of thing.
Secret Santa. Thank you.
Yeah.
And I knew the hardest sell was going to be on my mom. And it has taken her like 3 or 4 years to like realize that she only needs to get one gift, because she would get her Secret Santa gift, and then she would buy all of us gifts again. And I'm like, I know you don't need to be buying us things. Like, and maybe her love language is gifts. I don't know. That's a whole nother story. But I'm like, I don't want anything. And like, she tried to be thoughtful, like, well, what would you want in your stocking stuffer or something like that? And so like, one year I was like, beef jerky. Like, I'll actually eat that instead of the candy.
Yes.
But then she like goes over the top, and I'm like, no, like, give me like a stick of beef jerky, and that's enough. Like,
Yeah, but like, there's two boundaries there, right? There's like your boundary with just sticking with the plan that that everyone has agreed to, of just like Secret Santa, I'm just going to buy the one gift, and I'm not going to make my mom's actions mean anything. I'm just going to let her be herself.
Yeah, there's nothing
And
you
then
can do.
right, and your mom's boundary of just like, I enjoy doing this. So yeah, I'll participate in Secret Santa, but I'm still buying everyone gifts, and you all can fuck off if you don't like it. Like, I would probably be that mom, honestly, because like, I just like, if I have the resources, I really do enjoy spoiling people. That's me though. And I would never, I don't expect other people to do the same thing for me. Like, it's not a tit for tat thing. So if everyone can just stay in their own lane, and everyone just accepts everyone else for who they are, and accept ourselves for who we are, then everyone can have a merry fuck it Christmas. Like, we can all just be happy and celebrate the way that we want to, and no hard feelings, no guilt trips, no nothing.
Oh yeah. And I think that's something that I learned is like, okay, just let her do what she's going to do. And it's okay, because we're still going to enjoy ourselves, and that's just it. And as we've stuck with like our boundaries, like her gift giving has changed. Like, it is a lot less. It's more focused towards the kids. And so that makes me happy, is like, okay, she's also realizing like there's, it's not about the gifts. Like, that's not why we come over here, is to make sure that you're giving us a gift. It's like, it's more than just that. So
yes. But it's important to speak on that, because the pressures from external family members, it can be a lot over the holidays.
Oh yeah. I can't imagine. Like, our family dynamics is usually it's always like my mom and my mother-in-law always are like gift giving fiends. And but that's like the most of it. Nobody gets upset. Nobody is like passive aggressive. Like, I lucked out in that department of like, I really like, holidays have always just been wonderful, and like about bringing people together, giving gifts and spending time together. And so I am thankful I don't know anything else. I know it can be very different.
Yes, it can be very different, and it is what it is. But the more that I have allowed other people to just be who they are, and not think about how they should change or how they should be different, it just has created so much peace inside of myself. I didn't realize like how heavy that stress was of like wishing other people were different than what they are, until I just started letting that go.
Yeah. That is a newer concept for me in the last few years, and it really has just freed my mental space up to just enjoy the moment, or not have to worry about how other people are going to feel. And it has been a blessing for sure.
Yes. Well, thank you so much for being with us. Let everyone know where they can connect if they'd like to.
So if you want to connect, if you want to learn more about what I do, my business name is Life Changes by You. I'm on Instagram under that handle. I'm on Facebook under myself. There's the business too, but everything I do really is under my personal page. So Amanda Jacob. But you can find it all at my website, lifechangesbyyou.com, including my my podcast called Your Mind and Money, where I spill all my secrets about what it takes to have a lasting budget, a sustainable budget that ebbs and flows with your life.
Beautiful. And I will link all of that in the show notes. I like to end every guest episode with a round of lightning questions. So are you ready?
Oh no. Yes. Yeah. Okay.
I swear it's fun lightning questions. You don't have to be scared.
Okay.
What was your favorite holiday tradition growing up? And we kind of already covered this, but
Oh, well, if I talk about like my favorite holiday, I don't know that my favorite holiday is actually Christmas. And so I know,
blasphemy.
I know, but
How dare
it's
you?
close. It's Thanksgiving, but
Okay.
it was because there was no expectation other than bring food and hang out. And that
Right. Because
like
that's
two
the
things,
part that you like.
that was the part that I love. Yes. And
Yes.
so that's once you take the gift giving out of it, like I can get totally
Then
down
it's
with it.
Thanksgiving. I never really thought of it like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's my biggest thing. But that was another reason I loved Christmas is because we did the exact same thing at the same house and there was just the gifts involved. And I'm sure I loved it when I was a kid, but as I grew older, I'm like, oh, I just really like enjoy watching other people do it. So
Gotcha. All right. What's your favorite holiday treat?
oh, I made this butter beer one year and it was
Ooh.
like, I mean, so much, it was so good. Um, and I have not repeated it because I'm pretty sure it like clogged my arteries. But that I love a good like warm drink.
Yes. Yes. I love like a good mulled wine or just apple cider because I have a dairy allergy, so I can
Oh,
have chocolate if it's dark chocolate. And I've had like hot chocolate before, but I didn't grow up with it because my parents didn't realize that there was such a thing as chocolate without fucking milk. I found that out by myself my senior year of high school, and I came home
oh.
very pissed off. I was like, Mom, how fucking dare you? She's like, I didn't know. But like, so I didn't have my first cup of hot chocolate until like that year, or like the year after, like maybe until I was like 18 or something. And
Wow.
like, it was good, but it's just like very rich.
Yeah.
So, but yes, a good hot drink when it's
Yes.
cold outside is lovely. What is your favorite holiday movie?
Oh, I don't know. At that time of year, my husband just makes fun of me because I watch all like the Hallmark movies and he's
I love Hallmark movies. I have a subscription to Peacock specifically so that I can get the Hallmark channel.
yeah. I just I always like in that time of the year you just want things to end happily and you know that it's going to happen. So
I
you
love them. They're predictable. They're
Mhm.
always a happy ending. She's always going to have someone who takes care of her and loves her for who she is, and someone is finding Christmas joy. Like,
Yeah.
there is no better formula. They should never deviate. And it's
Yeah.
wonderful because I can jump in on a movie, and even if I hadn't seen it and it's halfway through, I'm fine. I know what's going
Yeah,
on.
you could probably just guess what happened already.
Exactly. I love it. I have Hallmark on in the background of my life through like November 1st on. Like, it's just on. So I'm all
Yeah.
for that.
Yeah. So those are like the ones that I can always sit down and just watch. We always watch like the Santa Claus series.
Yes.
I love the new ones that they're coming out with too. Christmas Chronicles were fabulous. So I love the kid movies too, like the family friendly ones. I think they're super
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah, me too. Are you pro Christmas cards or no Christmas cards? Everyone is very divided on this.
I am like I love the idea of Christmas cards.
Okay.
I hate trying to get them out on time. I'm so
But
bad
see,
at it.
define on time because one time
Oh yeah, last year I just sent them late.
oh yeah, yeah, exactly. I missed the like deadline for doing it in time for Christmas, and then I was like, you know what, fuck it, I'm just gonna hold on to these until July and send them for Christmas in July. Everybody loved it. They were
Oh,
so happy because they were like, I wasn't expecting this at all, so it made me laugh and brought me immense joy when I wasn't expecting it.
did yours say so? Like I made ones. We got like family pictures last year, and I put like Merry Christmas, but then I put the date. Did yours have the date on it, or did it just like say
I don't
Merry
remember. This
fucking
was
Christmas?
the year that my now 10-year-old was born.
Okay.
I don't remember if I put the year on there. I don't think I did. It would have been funnier if I put the year on there.
Well, and so I was late on like ours. So to be fair, our like they are in an envelope on our shoe shelf at the
Yeah.
front door, but they say 2023. And so I was like, if I didn't do that, I would have just like sent them out because it was such a cute picture of us and like.
Wait, do you still have them?
Oh yeah.
Oh my God, send them for this year. It would be so funny.
See how many people get it.
Yes,
Well,
it would be so funny. I love a good awkward moment. Like one of my favorite Christmas traditions is like getting Christmas cards in the mail from the people intended for the people who used to live in the house that I live in now.
Oh my
It
God.
is my fucking favorite thing. And I will hang up their picture cards in the kitchen. And when I was married, I did this. And my husband walked in and he was looking at this picture for a very long time. And he was like, do we know these people? And I was like, no, isn't it funny?
Oh my God, that is good. Yeah. I like getting them though. So like I love a good, especially one that's like a picture of them.
Mm-hmm.
And then there was a year like I made this like string tree and then I hung them up in our front area. And I do. I love getting them. I wish I was better about giving them, especially because like some
you
of my
already have
done.
all of the cards done. They're done, Amanda. Just send them out, please. And send one to me. I'll give you my address. I want one.
I really should. There are some people who like would, I don't know if I gave them to them last year, but they would want just like an updated picture.
Well, you don't always get what you want. I don't know what to say to those people. Oh my gosh. Okay, this next question I have stolen from the Low Life podcast because it's too good not to steal. If your belly button was an actual button, what would it do?
If my belly button was an actual, oh my gosh.
So you push it and something happens. It could be anything.
Oh, like I'm an animatronic or something.
Yeah. So it could like enable you with some sort of superpower. Something could like magically appear. Something could happen.
My mind went to like a button, like a sewed on button. I'm like
a Coraline type moment? Yes! No.
Okay, my button would it would probably say something like sweet and nice because it would be so nice to be able to do that without having like effort. And my husband would probably like me a lot more. And yes, his love languages are words of affirmation and physical touch. So like if all I have to do is touch the belly button
and he gets his words of affirmation.
Check.
Oh my God. That is amazing. I love that answer. And finally, what's one holiday obligation you'd like to say fuck it to?
Oh. I think I did last year. We bought we still go and get, like we go to the Christmas tree, but I bought an artificial tree and it made me so happy. Even though that's not a tradition, like that we
no, but I mean,
with.
Yes. Yeah. No. And that's it. I love a good, like, I love a real tree, but like, if you don't, just get the artificial tree. It's okay.
I am a fan of symmetry and order, and that comes with an artificial tree that can hold my heavy ornaments. I never have to worry about it.
You would have hated my Christmas tree last year. I'm going to text you a picture of it. My kids picked out the fattest Christmas tree on the lot and also the fattest Christmas tree that I have personally ever seen. It took up like half of my living room. It was poking into the fucking couch. I had to saw, like the top of it was like leaning like this because it was crunched underneath the roof.
What's
I'm like,
Christmas movie? What?
National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. Yep, it was that. It was that. That was my Christmas tree last year.
You have to send me that.
And it just made me laugh so hard. Like, if, I don't know if you're picking up on this theme, but if it makes me laugh, like, I'm so for it. I will do the funny thing because it just brings me joy.
As it should.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you for being with us, and Merry Fuck It Christmas.
Merry Christmas.